Hey there, Builder Blog. We're going to go over today how pneumatic robots actually work. So we are flying out to Dallas, Texas, where we're going to meet up with Logan, the captain of the Sub-Zero team.
Listen, I don't want you to insult my son, my son's son, my son's son's son, or my son's son's son. Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did. We like to smell our own farts around here, you know. Just kind of, you take a bad idea and you keep rolling with it. Caught it.
All right, so we're here with the captain of Sub-Zero, and oh my god, this thing is amazing. I've always loved pneumatic robots, and to see how each builder makes them is always incredible. Now, I'm assuming there's some shorty mags that normally go here.
That's right, 4 of them. Yeah, we typically run 4. Last event we competed, we lost 8 of them, and so there are no more to put in here.
Dang. Well, so do you mind running me through the pneumatic system, how this works?
Not at all, not at all. It's actually pretty simple. So we have our normal paintball tanks. These actually have custom regulators that run to 1800 PSI. So we run 4500 PSI in the big carbon paintball tanks. Those get regulated down to 1800 PSI. They then fill these buffers, these expansion tanks. And then I'm gonna try and flip this around for us. Those expansion tanks connect to this manifold of solenoids, and the 2 of them on the outside actually let the gas through the buffer and then through these big lines into the pistons, and then the one in the middle actually handles exhaust. So we had tried to do some clever things where we could fire one or both to get us a low power self-righting flip. I really didn't notice much of a difference. It's kind of weird.
I was about to ask, what made you decide to use 2 cylinders over one large one?
You know, that's actually a holdover from Jerry's design, the original designer and builder. He had his reasons. I think a lot of it comes down to packaging. You can actually run them flatter and wider and deal with this pivot action.
That's a lot easier when the robot's smaller, or when the cylinders are smaller.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, fun fact. All of our bottle brackets are made out of huge wheels. These are all offcuts from huge wheels.
Wait, so did you defeat Huge and take his wheels?
Oh, no. They just felt so bad for cutting us in half that they gave us the offcuts. And that's what we turned into Sub-Zero parts.
And now Huge makes Sub-Zero.
Gotta love it.
So it looks like you're using aluminum in these outer pieces. Is this, but this looks welded. Is this steel in the center?
Yeah, this is chromoly. It's actually very thin walled. It's like .050. Really thin, but, you skin it with something a little sturdier and it holds up okay for a few fights. We've come to find that it develops cracks over time, and so for our last fights, it would actually just kind of fall apart with big hits. So something to keep in mind.
And this looks like it's also a different material.
Yeah, the armor is AR 500. We do have different configurations, so we have a titanium base plate that we use. For the tops, we've got anything from like aluminum to tie to, when we fought Shatter, we used 1/4 inch AR 500. He did not get through that. And that's something you kind of have to do when you are running a flipper, a pneumatic flipper. The robot's so big that you have a lot of area to cover with armor, so you need to have multiple configs to be ready to put that weight where it needs to be for your fight.
Now, I've always wondered, since it's an ice-themed robot, why do you have a flame-throwing drone?
Because it's cool, duh. This is the only drone to beat a Battlebot. It took out Malice.
Oh, that's right. Ironically, the red robot got defeated by flames.
Yeah.
We ran into Malice. Accidentally. It was great. Funny's great.
Still got the win, right?
Those pogs are awfully hard to come by.
Yes,
Especially for a drone. Although we got a little Norwalk pog on there too.
Yeah, I think it's the only drone to compete at Norwalk so far, right?
Yeah. And 2 W's. Not without controversy.
Do you wanna take the time to explain to all the kids how to build their very own flamethrower?
You know, when I was 14 years old, I asked the Mean Burrito guy. He built the best flamethrowers at the time. I asked him to teach me how to do it, and he says, "Not unless you're 18." Because it is surprisingly easy, but it's also extremely dangerous.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
And so I've specifically never covered how to build flamethrowing robots here on the blog, because I'm following the Mean Burrito rule.
It's a good rule.
You have to be 18 years old before we tell you what parts to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of Norwalk, I believe this is 30 below.
This is 30 below. So this was kind of a test bed for how I wanted to try to design the next version of Subzero. So as we were talking about, the pneumatics take up a lot of space.
No kidding.
So I was just trying to do everything I could.
That stretches from the front of the robot to the back of the robot.
Yeah, so I wanted to try to find ways to make it as compact as possible. So the biggest change is going to a single large fixed piston. So it doesn't tilt with the robot, it actually strikes the flipper arm, and that's what drives it up.
I see you have the screw, so you have a replaceable tip.
That's right.
I like that you have the pinch point with a little hazard mark.
Yeah, so that's actually a Norwalk safety standard. So if you're running any kind of gas, pneumatics, or flamethrowers, you get a marking on your robot and on your pit pass, letting everybody know how dangerous and cool you are.
Is that a Castle motor?
Actually, not quite. It's Castle controllers, which are beautiful, and old tack-on motors. You can't get those anymore. But they're low kV, which is why I run them. So I have carbon tanks that will fit in there depending on what regulators I use. These will only run to 3,000 PSI, but the carbon tanks you can run up to 4,500 PSI.
And it looks like you're doing a similar construction where you're using aluminum on the outside, as this is steel or tie up here on the front.
Yep.
This definitely looks like AR plate.
Yep. Yep.
Aha, I'm getting better at this.
You're getting good. Yeah, so all the hard points are AR. I'm actually using AR in this this back piece to try to hold everything together. I did that because the steel is it's denser, it's stronger for its size, and I needed to save a lot of space in this area where it gets a little complicated.
Wow. These are beautiful builds. We just saw the entire robot pops off. That's your entire drive module, right?
Yeah, that's everything. That's the receiver, that's the power switch, that's the weapon motors, gearbox, everything. So all I have to do is just plug power into this, and I can test to make sure all the functions are working.
Wow.
So everything's designed to kind of slip in and out from the back. So this can all be sealed if I wanted.
That's just crazy. And I'm assuming there's some kind of pulley that goes on this to this belt.
Yeah, so I have a really kind of crazy pulley setup. So I can only so I can get away with one single belt.
Wow.
And the pneumatics slip out of the back.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm. It's caught against something. There you go. Yeah, go ahead. Give it a yank. It's catching up right there. Yeah.
Wow.
So the way the pneumatics on this
Yeah,
one
that's almost the
works,
size of the whole robot, just in the pneumatic system.
So the idea behind this design was to get away from those finicky solenoids and to go to just a servo-powered three-way ball valve. So I have 2 of these. One's back here so I can vent the gas for safety, or I can arm it. It hits this tube, and then that tube goes to another one of these ball valves. So one side goes in to the piston, and then the servo will continue to move and release the gas out of the other side.
Wow.
It's very compact, but
No
all
kidding.
of the 90 degrees slows the air down quite a bit. So, building robots is all about, making compromises. Maybe that's a little bit better thing to end on than.
He's going to something that has no compromise.
Wait, is the Flea weight also pneumatic?
Oh, not quite. That's just a servo. This is Subzero,
Subzero.
and just a quick 3D printed bot, a couple of carbon fiber pieces, some titanium tops, and yeah, just a quick print on the bamboo.
150 grams.
Yeah, 150 grams.
Ready to fight.
I can already hear the comment section. Where can I get the STLs?
I should really post them.
Because that is like the same size as a hex bug.
Which one? The little non-powered one?
I think the powered was pretty close.
Pretty close.
The Rusty and Hypershock are just a little bit bigger out of scale.
Yeah, they're a little big.
I think this would actually scale with them.
Yeah, I think I will release those files for anybody to build it. It actually took 2nd place at its first competition.
Nice. Well, do you have any last words for the blog?
We like to smell our own farts.
By the true pneumatics, we smell our own farts. Just missed the important announcement to all the Battlebot teams. What's opening?
I don't know. You have to ask David.
David, what's opening in 2 minutes?
This really great Korean restaurant called that translates into the butthole
So the butthole opens in 2 minutes.
in 2 minutes. Yeah.
And everyone is very excited. Smell our own fart. Wait, is that why we're going to the butthole?
Do you need a reason? Cheese Island.
Cheese Island.
Magic of Cheese Island. There's a lot
man.
of flames at the butthole. There are. A lot of open flame.
I thought that was at Chipotle.
That's afterwards.
That's after Chipotle.
Please tell me you're going to get footage of Cheese Island.
Yes. We're in Texas. We have to sample the current cuisine, or the local cuisine, and apparently it is Cheese Island, which I am totally down for. Are you ready for Cheese Island?
I am ready for Cheese Island.
Are you ready for Cheese Island?
Born ready for Cheese Island.
Are you ready for Cheese Island?
Cheese Island!
All right, everyone, to the butthole. And Brad, I did not mean to point at you when I did that.
I was going to say, that's a bait and switch. I thought Cheese Island was in the butthole instead.
Oh, I'm good.
Brad, I thought you ordered the large.
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas, but sometimes you just want more.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Texas. This is the Cheese Island, a fried chicken and melted cheese. Come here, come here.